gentlemen, welcome to the first inaugural ZBL League Kickoff show. We got a couple things happening tonight, and I'm your host, Jay Blick, and this is my co-host, Alex Jacobson. We'll be joined by Commissioner Roggs, going over a couple topics tonight. First, we got a 2012 cap-off to review what happened in the league, a little drama last year. We had a surprise champion.
Also going to talk about the keepers. We're getting ready for the big keeper reveal. Lots of drama going on lately, last couple days, really building up a nice anticipation for what will be an exciting 2013 season. Speaking of which, after we reveal those keepers, we'll be jumping into a 2013 season preview. Looking forward to that.
Who is going to be my number one? You will find out.
We're going to see. But first up, we're going to pass it over to Commissioner John Roggs, who's going to start us off with a keeper reveal.
Hello everyone, and as stated by our lovely host tonight, welcome to the 2013 inaugural ZBL Keeper Reveal Show. I'm Commissioner John Rogan, and I would like to represent the league and say it is now time to reveal the keepers. First up, number one draft pick, Gary Langla, on the clock.
We're going to get to Gary's keepers in just a minute, but first we're going to preview a recap of what happened in 2012. What a crazy finish that happened to be. Jay, what were your thoughts on that?
You know, the first thing that happened in 2012 is, as we all know, Fern won like an asshole. I mean, the kid, what the fuck was he doing all fucking season? Everyone was telling him to pull his fucking head out of his ass, and he just wouldn't listen to us. Somehow, luck turned his way, and he won a ship. Congratulations, Fern. It's never fucking happening again.
Yeah, pretty wild, Fern. Good job. Congratulations. You are the champ. You definitely have some good bragging rights. I would say that your list has increased exponentially since all the ranting has started due to the championship victory. But nonetheless, you have all the bragging rights, and we do hope that you definitely don't win again in 2013. But we are happy Nate didn't win. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, everyone fucking hates Nate. I mean, let's get real. He's the most fucking hated owner in the league. If he ever wins again, I will personally jump off the Empire State Building. Okay?
Yeah, I agree. And now we're going to go back to the keepers. We're going to get ready to reveal Gary's keepers. 1 second.
With the first keeper reveal of the ZBL 2013 Keeper Reveal Show, I present to you Team First Degree Murder, Gary Langla. With the first keeper for Gary Langla, he forfeits his 13th round draft pick, and he goes by Kalana Kavanagh. And he will also be forfeiting his 14th round draft pick and keeping Randall Cobb. That is Colin Kaepernick and Randall Cobb for Team First Degree Murder.
Oh, well, perfectly expected here. I mean, there's only a couple things to say about Gary Langla. The kid's a fucking piece of shit. I mean, he reminds me of, a Saul Goodman in his heyday. But besides that, the kid, I mean, he's moving into an apartment, he's moving out of his mom's house. I just don't know if this year's going to pan out for him. He's got a lot of pressure on him. He's entering the workforce. I mean, what do you think, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head right there. Definitely a lot of dramatic things happening to him the last couple of days, and we'll see how that affects his in-season play. But, I will say it will be fun watching Colin Kaepernick not finish as a top 15 quarterback this year. And we're going to send it back over to Commissioner Roggs now. Thanks.
And next up, our second round draft pick this year, Zach Gehring, Headbangers Bang YOLO. Zach will be keeping and forfeiting his 3rd round pick, Marshawn Lynch. He will also be forfeiting his 5th round pick and keeping Arian Foster.
Not going to be surprised here. Gehring's definitely in a good position with some solid top 10 running backs, and being the second pick overall definitely helps. But no surprise, Gehring's just the luckiest piece of shit that there is, and taking advantage of kids on drugs when making deals is certainly helping him as well. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, he seems like he's the all-American, fake wasp, shitty Jew type of kid, but, when it comes down to it, we know that he's just a lazy piece of shit. I mean, there's nothing to say about it. He's supposedly studying for this test, which might detract him a little in the early season, but we should expect Gehring to make a run like he usually does.
Agreed. We're going to send it back over to the commissioner now.
Next we have Mark Rutchick's keepers in for the team I Love Baseball. Mark, forfeiting his 3rd round pick, will be keeping Julio Jones, wide receiver at Atlanta Falcons. He will also be keeping Darren McFadden, running back, Oakland Raiders. That'll be with his 8th pick. Next on the clock, Fern, reigning champ.
Ooh, Yeah, that just smells really bad. Definitely like Mark's Grundle, kind of like his team actually. This has got last place written all over it, Jay. What do you think?
I would agree with that, but I do have a couple pieces of advice for Mark. You know, Mark, if you were to just take 45 minutes off of the shit time that you usually do, focus a little bit more on your fantasy work, put down the Candy Crush for 20 minutes a day, you might be able to stave a playoff run. But I just don't see that happening. I just don't see it happening, Alex. So, you know, it's going to be in the gutter again for Mark Rutchick. I hope he stays in the league. I mean, this kid's just, he's got no luck in this place.
I agree. We're going to go back to the commissioner.
And now, keepers just in for the reigning champ. The champ is here, Matthew Fern. Matt will be keeping Ray Rice and be forfeiting his 5th round pick. He will also be keeping Sir Bob Griffin and forfeiting his 7th round pick in this year's draft. Next on the clock, Alex Jacobson, Team Mangino.
You know, Alex, I just don't think that Fern could, you know, strike lightning twice. I mean, you know, last year we know that, I guess Jackie must have been feeding him something, and, you know, it wasn't the 60 milligrams of Adderall that Fern is usually taking, but, you know, I just don't even see him making the playoffs this year. I mean, Bob Griffin over Tom Brady, that was, you know, a really tough decision right there. Any thoughts on that?
Fern, hop in!
Back to you, Commissioner.
Keepers just in for Alex Jacobson, Team Mangino. Alex will be keeping Adrian Peterson and forfeiting his 1st round draft pick. He'll also be keeping Trent Richardson, running back, Cleveland Browns. That'll come in the 3rd round. Next up on the clock, Scott S. Bang.
Alex, a little bit of controversy with this Adrian Peterson keeper status. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what happened?
Yeah, no doubt, Jay. You know, for all along, I did think I was going to lose him in the 2nd round, but sometimes, you know, people, you know, who live up in Boston and take things a little too seriously go out of their way to make sure you get screwed, and then you start a war over listserv. But nonetheless, you know, the 2 things I do notice about this team particularly is, 1, the massive cock size, and 2, the significant chance of being able to win with great running backs. Back to you, John.
Keepers just in for manager Scott Band's team. I fucked guys bigger than you. Scott will be keeping and forfeiting his 3rd round pick, Brandon Marshall, wide receiver, Chicago Bears. He will also be keeping and forfeiting his 6th round pick, Stevan Ridley, running back, New England Patriots. Next up on the clock, David Berger, you snooze, you'll lose.
I mean, how much money is this kid getting paid? These trades that he's making just make no sense, Alex. I don't know where he gets them from. Either that or he literally has his head up his ass.
Up his ass.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with that last point. Definitely up his ass there. I think he's just a little in over his head with fantasy and reality. Spending a lot of time studying for the CPA. I would say that he is in a better position now with these keepers than he was before. I do give him credit. He does try for someone who has no fucking clue what they do in fantasy football. But it will be interesting to see how the season progresses, and he just kind of disappears during tax season.
We did have, you know, a mysterious winner last year, so maybe I might reveal something about this team that has no fucking clue what they're doing either.
Good point. Back to you, John.
Excuse me, guys. Keepers just in for David Berger. You snooze, you lose. Berger will be keeping Maurice Jones-Drew, running back, Jacksonville Jaguars, forfeiting his 3rd round pick. He will also be keeping A.J. Green and forfeiting his 9th round pick. Next up on the clock, Nick Martin, owner of the Martins.
All I gotta say is I fucking soozed, I lose last year. I mean, I let the kid take me to the fucking cleaners on trade. It was almost as bad as Berger writ Markov with his Valium his junior year, but, you know, shit happens sometimes, and you just gotta move on. Berger, I commend you. AJ Green, fantabulous fucking player, okay? Alex, you got anything to add to this?
Yeah, you know, quite surprising that he managed to pull something off, considering he's usually the king of just handing other people championships with some of the deals that he makes. But you know, nonetheless, I mean, he just passed up DeMarco Murray as his keeper, which he just traded for, who happened to be a great player in Jamal Charles, which is surprising to me. But
yeah, a
you
little
know, Dave,
controversial.
yeah, a little controversial there. We'll see how it plays out, but I think it's all a cover. You know, he did get me the Ciolo hat though, so happy about that. Back to you, John.
Keepers just in for Nick Martin's team, the Martin. Nick will be keeping Doug Martin in the 3rd round, running back, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He'll also be keeping Peyton Manning, quarterback, Denver Broncos, and forfeiting his 5th pick. Now on the clock, Levans, owner of Levans.
Pretty solid keepers here for Nick Martin, who usually doesn't know anything about sports, considering he's a fake sports agent to begin with. And you do have a sick mustache, though, Nick. But yeah, you know what? The Doug Martin thing. I mean, Gary traded it to you, so anytime anything touches Gary's teams, it usually ends up in the gutter. But you're in a good position, so it'll be interesting to see how things played out.
Yeah, Nick hasn't, I don't think he's done jack shit in this league for a couple of years. I mean,
Yeah.
It's actually quite pathetic now that I look at, what he's been doing. But, we'll be able to see if he can turn it around this year.
Agreed. Back to you, John.
Keepers just in for Levanos' team, owner of Pavans. Levanos will be keeping and will be going into his last year of eligibility of keeping Calvin Johnson, forfeiting his 2nd round pick. He will also be keeping running back Buffalo Bills C.J. Spiller, forfeiting his 7th round pick. Next up on the clock, the commissioner himself, John Rogan.
Hey, Carl, thanks for the fucking tie. I had fun rifling through all your shit to go find it.
Yeah, pretty interesting here. Big debate, you had Drew Brees. Do I keep Drew Brees? Do I keep C.J. Spiller? Like, that's my girl. Like, what am I going to do? I'm Levanos. Like, I'm just going to be in the head. I don't fucking know. But you know what? C.J. Spiller, great value in the 7th round, although when he tears his ACL, probably not so much. Back to you, John.
Guys, is it me or has it just gotten really fucking hot in here? Oh,
It's not
shit.
just you.
It's because I'm on the clock, and I haven't made the playoffs in 4 fucking seasons since college, and I got the 10th overall pick. So you know what I did? I ripped off a drug addict in David Berger. That's right. Thanks, Dave. I'll be keeping Jamal Charles and forfeiting my 1st round pick. I will also be keeping Dez Big Dick Bryant, number 88 Dallas Cowboys, and forfeiting my 4th round pick. That's right, fuckers. See ya on the virtual ground.
It's pretty funny what John just mentioned. It's this funny thing called karma that comes back to you when you rip off of, the poor, helpless, other members of the league. We had this experience a couple times in the past, and I have to say, no one has won a championship. You've gotten, in touch with your spirituality recently, Jacobson. You've taken up yoga, you've taken up anal. Why don't you just explain how you feel this is going to play out?
Yeah, definitely yoga and anal have a lot to do with my newfound realization that, karma does bite you in the ass sometimes. So definitely good on paper with Jamal Charles and Dez Bryant. Some big dicks there. It's going to be really interesting to see how that massive cock plays out for him. Back to you, John.
Ooh. Sorry, guys. Keepers just in for Jay Blick's team. Yeah, woo.
Yeah.
Jay will be keeping Cam Newton, and this will be his last year of eligibility, keeping Sir Camelot. He'll be forfeiting his 13th round pick, 2nd to last in the draft. He will also be keeping Alfred the Butler Morris, Washington Redskins running back, forfeiting his last round pick. Next up on the clock, and last to go, Nathaniel Ethan Herbert Buffalo III Esquire.
A Stu Finder would say, you pay me, I make you money. You pay me, I save you money. That's kind of your mentality here, Jay. You got some serious keepers in Alfred Morris right now and Camel Toe Newton. What's your insight on that?
I mean, I just schemed my way into this one. There's nothing more to say. It's just going to be winners, winners, winners. Back to you, John.
And finally, just in, the last keepers of this year's 2013 inaugural ZBL Keep It Real show. Nathaniel Ethan Herbert Buffalo III Esquire, best D in the league. I don't know if that represents Dick. Probably not, because he's a loser. Nate will be keeping LaShawn McCoy and forfeiting his 3rd round pick. He will also be keeping Jimmy Graham, forfeiting his 10th round pick, and he'll be going into expiration with Jimmy Graham. Thank you for bearing with us this evening, folks. I wish you all very good luck in this year fantasy football season.
Nate Buchwald, have fun rooting for the fucking Eagles all season, you fucking asshole, and some albino piece of shit.
Yeah, Jay, I mean, I was just thinking the same thing. I mean, you got to give Nate some credit. He's always in contention every year, but at the end of the day, look at what he has on paper right now.
Got nothing.
He's a fucking Giants fan. Are you fucking kidding me? You're rooting for LaShawn McCoy and Jimmy Graham, who's probably the most hated fucking tight end in the league. It's going to be fun watching him break his ankle on that turf. But you know what? It's going to be really interesting watching you fucking burn when you got the 12th overall pick and there's no fucking good players left. But anyway, give you props. We'll see you next time. Back to you.
So we got some closing remarks here. Alex and I have come up with some predictions. I mean, my predictions, Bloomberg Analytics, Google Alerts, I can't be wrong here. So I got my season loser is obviously going to be Mark, and my season winner, which is a guarantee lock, is myself.
Yeah, well, I definitely agree on Mark. Mark's definitely in the shitter there. And, winner, I'm going to pick myself. I just really like what we have. So that about does it for the 2013 Keeper Inauguration. Who gives a fuck?